Hi, I'm Susan. Welcome to Tea and Games. I just finished filming one video and I'm going straight on to film another one. This one is the Mid-Year Board Game Reflections Challenge, which was started by Rolling Reggie. And I'll put a tag linking his down below. But I should add that pretty much everyone has done it now. I'm getting to this so late. I mean, it's past mid-year. If I don't get this video out soon, June will be over and then it will be really past mid-year. So the idea of this video is to answer a handful of questions about board game play this year. Just how you feel about certain things that you've played. Now, the questions are about the games you played, and I have specifically limited it to games that are games we are playing for the first time, games that we've played for the first time this year, in this first part of the year. Because I felt like it would be better not to include old favorites that we play over and over again that are in the mix. So this is going to lean towards games that we are playing for the first time, that we played for the first time in the first half of this year. So anyhow, the first question is, what is your favorite game of the year so far? This is kind of tough in a way because we've played a lot of good games. I mean, if you've been watching these videos, you know we've played a lot of good games. But I think I'm going to have to give the nod to Robinson Crusoe. Favorite game played this year. There are a lot of games that we liked a lot, but there's something special about this one. I may like it less, and it may be less special after we've gotten our clocks cleaned a few times playing it, but so far the shine has not gone off the game. Okay, let me see what else we got here. Oh, most played games so far. At the beginning of this year, I installed Board Game Stats. The BG Stats app is really good. I've enjoyed using it a lot, and I've also found that it's kind of surprising what we're playing and who's winning what and how many games we're playing and stuff like that. But yeah, Board Game Stats can tell me exactly what my most played game is, and it is Numsters. Now, I should say, I have not recorded every single game of Numsters that I played, because every time I sit down in the chair, I flip through the cards and I play another game. It can play like just in minutes, like just fast. I would say, I don't know, 5 minutes? So, I mean, it's really short. I've probably played hundreds of these games. But even though I'm not recording them all, what I'm recording is because I'm trying to win with each of the numbers that it's possible to win with. The first game I recorded was my first game, and it was a loss. And then after that, I was just playing it over and over again. I mean, I can play like God knows how many games in an hour. And sometimes I play it while I'm watching TV, which is not a good idea because you need to pay attention to what you're doing. But yeah, so what I started doing after the initial play was I started recording my wins with Numsters, making notes of which numbers I played with each time and which number. And so I've got like a record of certain numbers that I'm winning with more often, and certain numbers that I've now worked my way through and I've won with, because that's one of the challenges of the game. It's challenging to win, trust me, but one of the challenges is to win with each of the winnable numbers, and I'm getting close, but I'm not there yet. So even though I'm not recording every game of this, because this game takes literally just a few minutes to play, this is the most played game. Now, the next most played game, you're going like, well, do you really want to count Button Shy Games? And that is buttonshygames.com. Yes. I do want to count Button Shy games, but obviously I didn't count all of those. Of the games that I've counted every single play of, Birds of a Feather Western North America has got the most plays. And again, it's a short game, like maybe 15 minutes. We've played it at various player counts. It's one of those games I keep right on the edge of the table, right by the door, so I can grab it and stuff it in my purse on the way out the door. It's kind of a grab and go game that can just be played with anyone, anywhere. I also, because it has a score sheet, there's also an app to score on, and I like scoring with the app better than the score sheet because it's in color, and that makes it a lot easier to quickly mark things off. But I've added pencils, like half-size pencils in here on top of the score sheet, so that way I can play with anyone, anytime. They don't have to have the app loaded up or anything like that, and they don't have to scramble around to get a pencil to mark the birds as they get them. But yeah, it's so fast, it's so short, and that's something that I noticed looking at the BG Stats app. The shorter the game, the more plays. It's like Numpsters is the shortest, and then Birds of a Feather, and it's like you can just go down the list, and the amount of time that it takes to play the game, the shorter that number, the more plays, and then as the games get longer, then you get fewer numbers. It's like a 20-minute game has fewer plays than a 15-minute game, and a 30-minute game has fewer plays than a 20-minute game, and an hour game has fewer plays than a 30-minute game. So, I mean, and that's one thing I didn't really think about. I mean, you just play games and you don't really think about it, but when you've got the app and you're looking at this and you're going like, oh, wow, it's like the length of the game really impacts how much you play it. I mean, more so than I thought it did. And that again goes back to something I mentioned in the previous video about I hesitated about getting the Lost Ruins of Arnak. I call it runes half the time. Lost Ruins of Arnak for a while because it's a big game. It's not one of these fast games where you can just like drop it down onto the table and it plays like in 30 or 40 minutes. And I know that the longer you include setup in that time for a game, the longer that it takes to set up and play a game and then pack it all away, that really impacts how often the game gets played. So I hesitated, but I got it. But yeah, Numpsters and Birds of a Feather North America would be our shortest and most played. The next question is biggest surprise of the year. Now, obviously, I only get games that I really think that we're going to like. You know, it's not like I'm just like buying a stack of random new shiny games and I'm going like, wow, what a surprise. Who would have thought I would have liked this or something? Because it's like, no, I try to get games that are not going to be surprises, or at least not unpleasant surprises, not pleasant surprises. I expect, that I'm going to play a game and it's going to meet my expectations. So that's like biggest surprise of the year. So I thought about it, and I think in some ways that we need to go back to Robinson Crusoe here, because I was very apprehensive about this. I mean, I thought we were going to die on the island. I mean, this game is basically known for chewing up people and spitting them out. And we did okay. And so that was very much a surprise. I mean, I would go so far as to say that I was shocked at how well we did when we played this game. So it would definitely be the biggest surprise, because I bought this game fully intending to lose it over and over and over again. But we've only played it once, so there's still time for that over and over and over again loss. But I would also add Switch and Signal. A little bit less of an obvious choice, because I got the game because, as I said, obviously I get games that I think that we're going to like, so I should not be surprised that I like them. But yeah, Switch and Signal, I thought we would like it. I really did. It is a co-op train game. And I thought we would like it, and we put it down on the table and we played it, and Robert and I are just looking at each other going like, oh, yeah. Every now and then, sometimes, I mean, you play games and you like them and you really enjoy them and go like, yeah, that was a good game. But then every now and then there's a game, that you put down on the table and you just kind of look at each other going like, oh yeah, this is a keeper. This is like never getting rid of it ever. That kind of a thing. Like you just look at it and go like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So, I mean, I really thought that we would like Switch and Signal. I researched it thoroughly and I thought we would enjoy it. But when we actually played it, we liked it like way more than I thought we would. I thought we would like it, but we just loved it. So that definitely deserves a mention as kind of a more less obvious choice because a lot of people don't seem to know about the game. But anyhow, what else is there next? Next, biggest disappointment of the year so far. Okay, this is the point at which all of the haters are going to pile into my comments. And I'm sorry, but I gotta be honest about stuff. I mean, you watch me here talking about games, and I have to think that one of the reasons why you like it is because I'm not getting free games from game companies. I am not a professional board game person. I'm just an ordinary person who has fun on the weekend playing board games and with my friends and my family. And I talk about what I like and also about what I don't like. And some of you may have seen this coming because I did mention this in earlier videos this year, but boy, howdy. Biggest disappointment of the year, Dice Throne. Oh my God. I would rather watch paint dry. This is horrible. I mean, we just did not enjoy this at all. I mean, we played it and we switched characters and we played it and we played it and we switched characters and we played it and we tried very, very hard to enjoy this game, but neither of us liked it at all. And I don't know why, but it has a Yahtzee mechanic. We like Yahtzee. I would much rather play Yahtzee than Dice Throne. Yahtzee is a great game, and I enjoy the heck out of Yahtzee. I mean, Yahtzee is a tremendously better game than Dice Throne. So yeah, give me Yahtzee any day over Dice Throne. But I mean, it was just... we really tried, but this is the least favorite game on our shelves right now that we have not actually culled, and it is on the chopping block. The only reason why I still have Dice Throne is that for the past 6 months, because see, we got this like at a half-price sale from Barnes & Noble between Christmas and New Year's, I think it was. It was in a video I did, but this is the only reason why I still have this is I've spent the past 6 months thinking about whether or not I should give it another chance, in the sense that maybe I should get another set and mix them up and do other things and play other things against each other. Hush. So anyhow, and the thing about it is 6 months now I've been trying to talk myself into getting another box of Dice Throne, and I've read all kinds of great things about other characters in Dice Throne, and people just go like, oh my God, you must get this set. And I'm looking at this and I'm going like, God, I just cannot make myself buy another set of a game that we really, really, really did not enjoy at all. And God knows we tried. We just kept putting it out on the table and playing it, and it just fell flat every single time. It was awful. And like I said, this is a personal opinion. I know that there are hundreds of thousands perhaps, maybe even millions of people who love like this Dice Throne, every box of Dice Throne, the entire Dice Throne system, and I'm going like, I'm glad you like it. I'm glad there's going to be somebody out there that will get my used copy and have a great time playing it, but it is really not for us. So anyhow, and I mean, and this is why you shouldn't take people's opinions. You should do your research and look at gameplays, playthroughs of games, because A board game person may say, this is the greatest game ever. We loved it so much, we can't stop playing it. And you may play the game and think, oh, wow, no. And then there are other games that you may love and you can just play over and over and over again. And somebody else may say, oh, wow, no. So, yeah, likes and dislikes with board games are very idiosyncratic. I mean, it is very much a personal choice. And the games I like are the games I like. I hope you like some of them too, but if you don't, that's fine. I would like to hear in the comments about the games you like too. So anyhow, yeah, comment. I like comments. I actually get pretty good comments. I haven't had haters gonna hate in my comments, even though I have braced myself for impacts based upon what I've said in other videos and in this one. So let's see. Number 5 question is, what game are you most excited to get off the Unplayed Games Shelf? Oh, this is kind of a bad question. I'm looking at Rolling Reggie here now and I'm going like, really? You want to ask that? Because obviously, if I've got games on my Unplayed Game Shelf, it's because I am just not excited at all to get them off my shelf. I mean, if I were excited to play them, I would have pulled them off my shelf and put them on the table and played them. So the games that I'm most excited to play from my unplayed games, they're all going to be that pool of recent games that I have gotten fairly recently that have not made it to the table yet. And these games, the recent games, they're going to get played ahead of, because they're the things I want right now. They're going to get played ahead of the games that have sat on the shelves for years, because those games have sat on the shelf for years for very good reason. Like, I'm just not that enthusiastic about playing them. So anyhow, my choice for that is going to be Star Trek Catan. Because we got this a couple of months ago at a Trading Post game at our friendly local game store for just a mind-bogglingly low price. And it's in good shape and all the pieces are there. So yeah, I talked about this in another video. And the reason why, of all the games that we've gotten this year that we haven't played yet, and there aren't a huge number, we're keeping up pretty good. There's only, well, there's a few more now, because we recently picked up a few that I talked about in the previous video. But Catan holds a special place in my heart because that was the game that got us into the modern board game hobby. Our extended family taught us how to play, and we play Catan with the extended family, or we did. We haven't had any game days in a long time. And both us and our extended family, we're all very big classic Star Trek fans, and the Star Trek franchise in general. So getting Star Trek Catan, I couldn't believe how cheap it was, but getting that was kind of a special moment, kind of a mind-boggling moment, because it was just, I think it was $25. I say in the video when I mentioned getting it, but yeah, it was like, and this is like out of print and rare, and so we're fans of Trek, and the extended family are fans of Trek, and we play Catan with the extended family. So this just kind of a feel-good thing about this. So I would say this is probably the game that I'm most excited about getting off the Unplayed Game Shelf, though there are a lot of new games that we've gotten recently. I say a lot, probably 3 or 4 that I am looking forward to playing. But yes, I think that's going to be my choice, and it's been on the shelf for a few months. Maybe that qualifies it for the Unplayed Game Shelf. Best game discovery of the year, and this has to be a game that came out 3 or more years ago. Only one choice. Why I Otter. a button shy game, which I discovered as one of their sale games of the week. This is a 2-player trick-taking game. And it is just a lot of fun. And you have these really interesting choices to make. If you like trick-taking games and you have opportunities often to play games at 2 players, maybe you like Fox in the Forest, but you sometimes think that Fox in the Forest just goes on too long, because I mean this is really short. I mean, a lot of button shy games, they tend to be very, very short games. So I kind of jokingly say that this is the 2-person trick-taking game for people who think Fox in the Forest is too long. This is much shorter. But yeah, it's an interesting game. It's one of those games where you're winning or losing tricks, and the person who, I think it's the person who wins the trick gets to choose whether or not they keep the card, and which card becomes a scoring card and which card goes to their opponent. And the person who, it's interesting. It's the person who wins or the person who loses, because let's see, the loser. No, it is the loser chooses between the remaining cards to see which will go into the river to be which will become a scoring card, and which card they take and which card goes into their hand. So yeah, you got to decide about winning and losing tricks, but at the same time, you don't really want to lose too many tricks, because the tricks you win, those are otters that go into your otter den, and that's what you score off of. It is a fun little game, though, and we both just enjoy the heck out of it. And that's another one that we play fairly often. It can't beat Numbsters, because Numbsters I can just knock out in a couple of minutes holding the cards in my hand. But yeah, that's another really good button shy game, and I highly recommend it for people that are looking for a 2-player trick-taking game that is very fast and fun. Very, very light. Now, most anticipated game for the second half of the year. Well, when I first heard about this challenge video, I kind of figured out what I was going to say for that, and it was going to be Muskoka, which is a Kickstarter game, because mostly I'm anticipating Kickstarter deliveries, and not too many of them. And most of them aren't games, they're expansions. I've got a couple of expansions coming, I think. So yeah, but I was looking forward to this game. It's a first-time game for the game developer. And but it's already in the mail. It's going to be here in a couple of days, so you may be hearing about that on our summer games video, the next summer games video. I've still got a few more games to mention for the summer games video. But so I kind of feel like that since that's in the mail and may get here in a couple of days, that probably that should not qualify as game release for the second half of the year. So I'm going to say Forbidden Jungle, because we just recently got, we just recently got Forbidden Sky, which is out of print. We like the Forbidden series a lot. We're looking forward to playing Forbidden Sky sometime soon. It's got a nifty rocket ship in it. But we really like the first game of the series, Forbidden Island, and I would highly recommend that as a gateway co-op game. We also really liked Forbidden Desert, and each game in the series seems to get a little bit harder and a little bit more tricky, so no telling what we're going to get into when we play Forbidden Sky. But later this year, there's going to be a 4th game in the series, Forbidden Jungle. So I would say that's probably my most anticipated game. There may be something else that I am forgetting, something horribly obvious. And if so, you can point it out. And if you've heard me say that there's something I'm looking forward to and it isn't Forbidden Sky, Forbidden Jungle, then let me know in comments, because it's like my memory. But the last question is the toughest, and it's, what is your favorite video that you have made this year? So the favorite video I've made this year, mine, not my favorite video I've watched from other content creators. Seems weird to think of myself as a content creator, but apparently I am. Anyhow, I don't know. The thing is, I make the videos, I watch the videos, I edit the videos, I watch the videos again to make sure they're okay, and then I just forget about them. I put them away. It's like I'm really all about the games, not about the videos, and I don't actually think about my past videos very much. So it kind of puts me on the spot a little bit because I'm thinking like, and I remember that, but what video was that in? And yeah, maybe that one, but oh gosh, that seems awfully dull. And I don't know what to choose. I would say possibly the video where I talk about 10 penny parks, because it's not that it's a particularly good video. And actually the video in which I mentioned 10 penny parks, which is a couple of videos before that, and I take it all out of the box, dump the whole box out on the table. That's a fun one too, but I don't actually, we hadn't played it yet at that time, but the game designer, Nate Linhart, saw that first video when I mentioned, and coming up next, we're going to be playing 10 penny parks very, very soon. We just got it in and I dumped the game out on the table and enthused about it. He saw the video, and I mean, I didn't tag him in it. I didn't actually put a 10 penny park tag in the video or anything. I don't even know how he found it. I guess he's got far better Google skills than I do. But he found it and he said, I hope you like the game. So when I actually did the video about 10 penny parks, I tagged him for it so that he would know that we did play the game, didn't just languish on our shelves, and we did really like it a lot. And he commented back on that, and more importantly, he shared the video on Facebook. And a whole bunch of people saw that video that would never have seen any of my videos before, and that's a lot of you who have subscribed and remain subscribers. I mean, and I really I appreciated him sharing it so that more people saw my videos, because apparently more people like them. So I mean, that was kind of a really neat thing he did, sharing that video, and it was just really neat to watch this sudden whoop influx of subscribers, and people commenting on videos. Like, suddenly I started getting a lot more comments, and it's kind of gratifying that I'm having fun making these videos, and I'm happy that other people are having fun watching them. So maybe that one where I did 10 penny parks, because I found a lot of you that way, and you found me that way. So that was kind of a neat thing, and I'll put a link to it down below. It's actually not a really good video. None of my videos are all that good. But yeah, that was kind of a thing, and I didn't even know what was happening until one of the commenters said that the designer had shared the video and everything, and I'm going like, whoa, that's where all these people came from. All of you people, thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for listening to my ramblings and my highly opinionated opinions. I know you like Dice Throne. Admit it, you do. And we just don't. But I think that there's a lot of other games that we have in common. And we have this wonderful board game hobby in common too, and that's a very good thing. And I'm really happy chatting with all of y'all in the comments and seeing new subscribers pop up. It's nice, it's fun. And that's what it's all about. I'm in it for the fun of board games. So it's been really nice sitting around the table chatting about board games with you. This mid-year challenge has been kind of challenging for some of those questions. Thanks to Rolling Reggie for doing this, and for all of the other content creators that I subscribe to who also did this. I'm not even going to tag anybody to do this, because I think at this point, everybody I could think of has already done it. So if you're a content creator and you have not yet done this challenge, then just jump on in there and do it and tag me. And tag Rolling Reggie too. A lot of people don't know about his channel. I really hadn't watched it and I subscribed. Good stuff. So I'll see y'all next time around the table. Bye.